As we gather here today for Rosh Hashanah, we are filled with the sound of the shofar, a call to awaken our souls and engage in self-reflection. The smell of round challah baking and the taste of pomegranates or rimonim, apples dipped in honey, tapuach b'devash, reminding us of the sweetness and abundance ahead in the new year. The feeling of breadcrumbs in our hands and the sight of them disappearing into the pond during Tashlich, symbolizing the things that we are atoning for and for what we have learned from. These are not just days on the calendar. They are sacred time for rejoicing, reflection, and repentance, and for recommitting ourselves to the values that define us as a Jewish people. As I look out and reflect on what it means to be a part of the Temple Bethel community, I'm in awe of how quickly TBE became a meaningful and connected part of my family's life in these past 3 seemingly short years. My family joined in the summer of 2022. Our first event was the Temple Torah School Maccabia Games Day at Avro Park. We were welcomed with open arms and quickly brought into the TBE family. As a Jewish educator for over 20 years, who has engaged in multiple synagogue education programs, Jewish summer camps, preschools across the South Bay, and have been a part of my community life since I was 13 after I had my bat mitzvah. I can truly say that TBE is one of the warmest and welcoming programs and synagogues I have ever been a part of. And each and every member here and online in our community and our clergy have to thank for that. It's so meaningful to see your faces, old friends and new. Your presence here today is a testament to the strength and vibrance of our synagogue community. Throughout my master's and doctorate program at American Jewish University, I've spent a fair time learning and researching about Jewish engagement. People who identify as Jews make up about 2.4% of the US population. That's about 7.5 million people. Now, I want to highlight the word identify. As we all know, Judaism is not just a religion. It's a culture, a peoplehood, a nation, and so on. Being Jewish isn't defined by how often you attend services or how much Hebrew you know. Well, decades ago, your Jewishness was measured on a scale based on how often you attended services or prayed. But as later generations connect to their Judaism through food, friends, cultural events, holidays, celebrations, lighting Shabbat candles, through mitzvot, Jewish summer camps, Jewish preschools, social action, tzedakah, social justice, etc. I think you get the point. We know that being Jewish takes on so many forms and in many places around our community and around the world. However, when we bring new life into our world, we lean on our TBE community to help with the Brit Milah or the bris. When we want to prepare our children for a Jewish life, embody mitzvot, and to learn and read and speak Hebrew, to become a bat mitzvah or a bar mitzvah or a bar mitzvah, or to be confirmed, we turn to our TBE community, our synagogue, to educate our children. When we are ready to marry and to begin a new chapter of our life, we celebrate with our TBE community for the ufruf, the ceremony, and support and guidance. When we lose someone in our life, we are comforted by our TBE community. When we reach the time in our life we are ready to learn more about ourselves and our history, we look to our TBE community for classes filled with knowledge and inspiration. We turn to our community, Temple Bethel, for all of those things, and the many life moments that happen in between and beyond. Temple Bethel is not just a building. We are a living, breathing space wherever we congregate, whether it be here in the sanctuary or online, at a camp or on a softball field. We tied the last game 11-11, I'm just saying. A Havurah gathering together to celebrate Shabbat in our homes, supporting community social action programs like Family Promise, or in DC for La Taken's social justice program for teens. We come together for the Torah on the trails, sustainable chocolate tasting fundraisers, a favorite I might add, galas, concerts, jamming sessions, Pesach, Havdalah, book and concert salons in the homes of our community members, Purim spiels, Hanukkah lightings, youth and adult choir, pancake breakfasts, mensch club barbecues, sisterhood brunches, Swifty events, poetry readings, the annual South Bay Interfaith services, scholars in residences, and artists in residences, half pint and Torah school Shabbats, and so much more throughout the year. This past May, we celebrated the simcha of our son Mason becoming a bar mitzvah. He was up here able to read Torah today too, so it was a very proud mom moment. The outpouring of love from the Temple Bethel community and its clergy and board members was incredible. My extended family even commented on how warm and welcoming everyone here was. At the same time, I had been laid off. The week before the simcha was, actually to be more specific, following the bar mitzvah, I began to search for a new job. I knew I wanted to return to the Jewish education ever since October 7th. I applied and interviewed in many of the LA and Valley Jewish synagogues and preschools, but there was just something holding me back. I couldn't describe it, but there was something that just didn't fit together. During a previous board meeting, there was a mention that the Montessori preschool renting the 2 preschool classrooms on campus weren't going to renew their lease. They had found a beautiful campus down the street. This gap in revenue was going to be hard to make up. There was nowhere else to cut, so the temple had to find new renters. I tucked this away in my brain. In June at our annual meeting, the Cantor Lawn opened up with Dan Nichols' Kehila Kedoshah, a sacred community. I took that away in my brain too. I love the song. Side note, Dan Nichols will be here. At the end of High Holy Days for our TBE Sukkot and Yizkor service, make sure you get your tickets. It's October 13th. You're welcome. Then one evening in June, while I was sharing my frustrations of how long it was taking to find a school or an organization that really fit my needs, my husband said, "Why don't we just open our own school?" Immediately, my brain went to work. Maybe it could be at Temple Bethel. They have rooms. I know they need a renter. Well, how wonderful would it be to restart a Jewish preschool in that space, to provide programs for TBE's growing families and the Jewish South Bay community? But the big question was, would TBE be open to it? Well, the answer was yes. We received a resounding amount of support from the clergy, the board, and TBE community members, including many of you who are sitting here in this room today and online. Now, to think of a name. Trust me, this was the hardest part of all. We needed a name that resonated with what represents a Jewish preschool and the TBE community. It needed to be in Hebrew, but not too hard to pronounce. That's when I heard Cantor Lawn and Dan Nichols' song singing in my head, Kehila Kedoshah. That's it, Kehila. It means community. Yes, that's the name, Kehila Early Learning Center. When we shared the name with our kids, my daughter Sophia immediately recalled the song and has been, as she had been in the TBE choir and had gone to Jewish summer camp where she got to meet Dan Nichols. The journey has been a family affair, not just the King family, but the TBE family as well. We were granted all of the support we have received. We are grateful for all of the support that we have received from everyone in the community. My family is honored and humbled to have been privileged to help close the TBE gap by renting the classrooms and other spaces on this campus, infusing the TBE community with a sustainable pipeline for new Jewish families, and crafting a safe and nurturing Jewish Reggio-inspired environment where children can grow and thrive. This is our current form of tzedakah, given what we can do at this moment. This brings me to why I'm standing in front of all of you here today. Each and every one of you has the ability to give tzedakah in one way or another. And like all nonprofits, our synagogue relies on the generosity of its members and friends to continue this vital work within the walls and within the greater South Bay community. Our annual commitments and Torah school tuition only cover a portion of TBE's operating costs. And our High Holy Days appeal is what makes all of the essential programming possible. Our goal this year is to raise $45,000 to ensure that we can continue to offer all of our operating and program needs without interruptions here at Temple Bethel. The future of our synagogue rests in your hands. Together, we are building a vibrant Jewish community for ourselves and for future generations. You can find a green form either in front of you or underneath your seat with instructions on how you can make a donation today or tomorrow or the end of the week when you feel ready. Your donations will help to close this gap and to ensure that we can continue to provide the warm and welcoming community to our current and future members of TBE. If you're online, you can join us in giving tzedakah by using the link in the chat, I hear. I want to thank each and every one of you for taking the time to consider what we are asking for today. We have teams that are coming around that either have additional forms for you or are willing to collect them and take them back. Many of the teens you see have read Torah today or will be reading Torah at Yom Kippur.